The Naruto movie is finally happening, and over the coming weeks, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about it and what you can expect to see. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a comprehensive breakdown of how I think the movie series should play out and what's going to be left on the cutting room table. I'll break down how I think the first movie will be paced, and then I'm going to break down exactly how the plot will play out on the subsequent Naruto movies. But first, if you guys wouldn't mind liking the video and subscribing to my channel, it would mean the world to me. All right, let's get into it. This live-action Naruto movie, which has been in pre-production for years, just got a huge update this past week when the director of Shang-Chi, Dustin Daniel Cretton, signed on to helm the project. And this is finally some seemingly good news on a production that's been mired by an otherwise questionable group of producers, including Arad, who is, along with some decent hits, produced projects like Morbius, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and the most troubling is 2016's Ghost in the Shell, where the producers, director, and Scarlett Johansson took a lot of heat for allegedly whitewashing a Japanese character. But Cretton, who has recently also directed The Glass Castle and Just Mercy, starring Michael B. Jordan and Jamie Foxx, has a pretty good directing resume. And with this success directing Shang-Chi, with relative newcomers like Simu Liu alongside stars like Michelle Yeoh and Awkwafina, one can hope that Naruto won't be the latest of several manga adaptations to flop amid complete story rewrites and whitewashing controversies. We all saw what happened with Dragon Ball Evolution. So what is this movie gonna be? Is this movie going to be a straight adaptation of the anime or manga, or will it attempt to tell its own story using the anime as a backdrop? I've been closely following some of my favorite franchises get film and TV adaptations over the years, and what I can tell you is that we've repeatedly seen one thing be true. When an anime adaptation is close to the source material and stays especially close during the biggest moments, it's generally well received. A great example of this is the One Piece Netflix series, which was a challenging undertaking considering the anime's cartoony style and the snail's pacing. The Netflix series has its own style and pacing, and for some that was a massive turnoff. But the show was generally well received. On the other hand, Cowboy Bebop on Netflix completely deviated from the style, the pacing, and even changed some of the biggest moments in the anime. For the audience, this was generally too much to bear, and the show received negative reviews and was eventually cancelled. So how can they adapt Naruto, and how should they adapt Naruto? I'm going to focus today's video on how I would adapt Naruto for a 5-film cinematic experience. To me, this is how you fit in all of our favorite moments and characters without turning Naruto into a snooze fest. It starts by understanding what's important to the story and what's not. This allows you to be faithful to the original material without sacrificing pacing, which is going to be a problem if you're working on a shonen anime. And early on, you want to be faithful to the material. You don't want to be watching Naruto feeling like they completely changed the story and the important character moments and then slipped random stuff in as fan service. But it's not actually fan service if you get the details wrong. Regardless, it's important to remember that the movie's just going to be part 1 to what should end up being at the very least a trilogy or maybe even more. So let me break down for you where I think this story should go and how the parts should be broken down to stay canonically accurate while delivering a solid cinematic experience. In Naruto Part 1, which will be this movie, I think we can meaningfully cover the majority of the OG anime show up to and including the Chunin exams. So how do we fit that into a 2-hour movie script? Well, first we identify the things that absolutely need telling. So here are the must-haves. And then I'll list the nice-to-haves. Again, this is a movie, not a TV show, so there may not be room for setting up some of the side plots and characters in a way that many people would want. But in my opinion, the must-haves start with the prologue, the story of the Nine-Tails Fox and the 4th Hokage. Naruto stealing the Forbidden Scroll and learning multi-shadow clone jutsu. Then Naruto becoming a genin, leading to the pass-fail test with Sasuke and Sakura administered by Kakashi. Then Naruto meeting Jiraiya, the Chunin exams, Orochimaru's attack of Konoha, the death of the 3rd Hokage Hiruzen, and of course, Gaara versus Naruto. For me, those are the must-haves. Those are the moments we absolutely have to have. There are other great moments that we'd like to have, have, but these are the moments that we must have. In terms of the nice to haves, it starts with the Land of Waves arc. This is a great arc with fan favorite characters in Haku and Zabuza, but unfortunately, besides us learning about the Sharingan, nothing hyper relevant to the long-term endgame of the story happens here. Sure, there are some emotional bonds that we see down the stretch happen in this arc, but this is a fairly small arc that could easily be wrapped up and injected into the Chunin exams. The only way I see them including the Land of Waves arc is if they tie Zabuza and or the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist into the Akatsuki. The other nice to haves are Naruto learning the summoning jutsu, which I think would be really nice to have, but I think could be delayed in the live action movie series in favor of Naruto using Kurama's chakra versus Gaara. Sakura versus Ino is another moment I would really like for them to include and improve on, so that two of the more important female characters in the series aren't getting done dirty like they were in the Naruto OG anime series. And lastly, Rock Lee versus Sasuke. I think we're going to get Rock Lee versus Gaara, but I think the fans will want to see Rock Lee as much as we can get in the first movie. Two characters I haven't mentioned yet that are absolute must-haves in this first story are Kabuto and Shikamaru, because of their significance to the plot later on in the story. The third character I would mention here is Hinata, for obvious reasons, and that reason is love. And the characters that probably won't get explored in any meaningful way are Shino, because bugs are gross, Kiba, although how can you minimize Akamaru? Tenten, because she got done dirty in the series, so she's gonna get done dirty here. Ino, because it really doesn't make any sense plot-wise to focus on Ino. And Choji. Choji should get a little bit of love in movie 2, which I'll break down right now. In movie 2, I expect us to get Naruto learning the Rasengan and recruiting Tsunade. Then I expect to get Itachi and Kisame versus Kakashi, Kurenai, Asuma, and Maika. Then we'll get Itachi versus Sasuke in Jiraiya's Toad Belly with Itachi breaking Sasuke's arm. Then we get Naruto versus Sasuke at the hospital after Sasuke recovers. And then we get the Sasuke retrieval arc, where Shikamaru leads the team, and we should get that in close to its entirety, with the duel at the final valley at the end of movie 2 being Sasuke's exit from Konoha. A nice to have here that I don't think we'll necessarily get is Kabuto versus Naruto and Tsunade. Another nice to have that I would love to get, and I'm really hoping we get, is Orochimaru versus Jiraiya. Then movie 3 would be our first post-time skip movie, with Naruto returning to the village and us seeing how much stronger he's gotten. And then we get the Akatsuki attack, starting with the Hidden Sand Village. That would kick off the Gaara retrieval arc. In this movie, I think we'll also get the Kakashi flashbacks as well as the Sasuke retrieval mission with Sai. And then we'll end up getting a confrontation where Sasuke takes down all of Team 7, including Yamato. I think what could be a really cool plot progression here is if we get Jiraiya going off to the Hidden Rain Village during this movie itself. I know that's a little bit ahead of schedule, but then movie 3 concludes on Naruto leaving for Mount Myoboku after finding out Jiraiya's dead. I think movie 4 is the opportunity for the movies to do something cool that the show never got right. And that's to make Sasuke the central figure for the entire first half of the movie. We open with Sasuke defeating Orochimaru and freeing Suigetsu, Jugo, and Karin. Then he departs off to kill Itachi. Meanwhile, at Mount Myoboku, Naruto is training in Sage Mode, but secretly working on his own jutsus and manages to add a wind chakra nature to his Rasengan. Then we get Sasuke versus Itachi. Itachi dies and Obito reveals the truth about Itachi. Sasuke joins the Akatsuki. Then Pain attacks Konoha. Sakura prays for Naruto, and we get the dopest entrance anyone has ever had in Shippuden. Tsunade falls into a coma, and Hinata tries to fight Pain only to get KO'd. Naruto loses his mind, and we all get to see Naruto meet Minato. After Naruto defeats Nagato, we get an abridged version of the 5 Kage Summit where Danzo has taken an unofficial leadership position, and Obito interrupts to declare war on the shinobi world. Then, movie 5 opens up with a flashback to Obito giving Kakashi his Sharingan. Then we see Obito attack Konoha with Kurama on the night that Naruto was born. We watch Minato bravely defend the village and sacrifice his life to give half of Kurama's chakra to Naruto. In present day, Sasuke kills Danzo, and we get a brief confrontation between Naruto and Sasuke at the top of the movie. Then Tsunade wakes up, and we get Gaara giving his speech to the Shinobi Alliance. We see Naruto locked away on Turtle Island, learning from Killer Bee. Then we get part 1 of the 4th Great Shinobi World War, which is Kabuto's Edo Tensei Ninja versus the Shinobi Alliance. Naruto meets his mother and unlocks KCM-1 with Kurama's chakra. Then we get Naruto leaving to enter the battle. The 3rd Raikage is tearing up the battlefield, but KCM-1 Naruto shows up in time to beat him. Then Kabuto reincarnates Madara Uchiha. Naruto goes off to find Obito while the 5 Kage take on Madara Uchiha. Then we get the great confrontation between Itachi and Naruto, where Itachi snaps out of Edo Tensei and then goes to find Kabuto. It's at this point that we get Itachi and Sasuke teaming up against Kabuto. Sasuke's perspective is once again changed, and we get that great moment where Itachi tells Sasuke that he will always love him. So then Sasuke revives Orochimaru and reawakens the previous Hokage, who then join him heading to the battlefield. Meanwhile, Naruto and the Tailed Beasts are losing. Each of them is getting sucked into the Geto statue to revive the Ten Tails. Naruto desperately tries to save the Tailed Beasts, which Kurama notices. Madara defeats the 5 Kage and heads to team up with Obito. Then we get Minato saving the Shinobi Alliance from a Tailed Beast bomb and the rest of the Shinobi World War, including the Kaguya Plot twist, which I think will get peppered in throughout the movie series. There will be moments here and there where maybe we get flashbacks to whether it's Sage of Sixth Path childhood moments or just the origins of the beginning of the Otsutsuki clan on Earth. One interesting question is how Kaguya will be integrated into this plot, knowing that she's the ultimate final baddie and knowing that ahead of time this time around. Or I guess it's possible she'll get written out of the story. The final moment of action in the movie will be Naruto versus Sasuke, the duel at the final valley, and then the epilogue, which should set up Boruto. But what do you guys think? Do you think this is going to play out differently? Is this going to be a great movie series, or will it be a total dud? Definitely get in the comments and let me know how it's going to play out. And if you haven't already, please like the video and consider subscribing to the channel. Alright, thanks. Toodles.